Rob and Slim Show. Rob and Slim Show.
Guys, it's Isaac Thorne.
Isaac Thorne, how are you? Horror author Isaac Thorne. How is it going, my friend?
It's going pretty well. I'm still sitting here in quarantine, just kind of watching things unfold.
How's the quarantine down there in Tennessee? Do you guys have to wear the masks? Because we talked to Josh Ferguson a few weeks ago, and where he is down south, he said they didn't have to wear the masks.
It's our governor has, with few exceptions, kind of made everything a suggestion.
Okay.
So I see a lot of masks. Like I go to the grocery store every 2 weeks, and the workers are all wearing masks and gloves, and a lot of the shoppers are, but not all of them. So yeah, we just kind of go by suggestion here.
Did you see the new Driz masks that are available for the public? He said they were $55 a piece, Isaac. One of them says
that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, but
they're
really worth it because I use a very special fabric that kills all viruses. So not only was it going to get rid of the COVID-19, but it's going to get rid of everything after the COVID-19 and
all the other COVIDs.
Yeah, and all these other masks, they don't do that. And also, do you see, like, I'm holding one up right now here, and if you see it's got some gold flakes on it, gold flakes are really good for eradicating viruses. A lot of people don't know that. But that's just, truth.
Truth.
That's cool. If it got rid of computer viruses, I would pay the $55.
Yeah, well, no, it does.
Definitely.
I said all viruses. Guess what? Computer viruses too.
All right.
What you gotta do though is you gotta put it on, and then while you're wearing it, you just gotta rub your face against your computer. You gotta nuzzle your computer, and then eventually it will get rid of all the viruses. It's better than that Norton shit.
Got a good point
nice.
there, Driz. Got a good point. What have you been hoarding, Isaac? Have you stocked up on anything?
You know what? I tried to be responsible and just buy what I need. I obviously missed out on toilet paper and Clorox wipes and things like that, so I haven't been hoarding them. But for some reason, every time I go shopping, I'm just not even thinking about it. I'm picking up a box of Pop-Tarts. So now I've got a pantry full of Pop-Tarts that I'm not eating.
Have you tried the pretzel ones with the cinnamon filling? They're so good. So good.
I might have to try. Those will probably be the only ones left next time I go.
They're so
I'll
good.
probably have to try them.
Yeah, it's a pretzel crust, and they have a cinnamon or chocolate filling. The cinnamon is my suggestion. The chocolate's all right, but the cinnamon's really good, really good. And it's got salt on it. It's the perfect fucking Pop-Tart. Well, have you been writing a lot while you've been stuck in, Isaac?
I have actually. I started on the follow up to the Gordon Place, which is it's not a sequel or a prequel, but it's set in the same town in the same universe. So. Nice. So I finally got cracking on that. I'm about 2 chapters into my first draft now.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't know if being stuck inside was a good situation for someone creating. I didn't know if it just got too crazy or if it did just force you to just sit down and focus.
It depends. For me, it totally depends. Sometimes I actually need the chaos of normal life to I don't know, kind of stimulate me to sit down and do this, and other times I just kind of get lost in the imagination there, and that works. So
yeah, there is definitely 2 sides to it, but yeah, I feel like it's just the chaos is what usually brings out the best. I don't know. I wish I would have given anything to have a week or 2 off, though, because me and Slim are both essentials, and sometimes I'm like, fuck, I wish I could have had the fucking at least a week or 2 off. God damn.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about giving essential workers like you who are in retail and giving them hazard pay, but I'm like, you know what? You guys should have pay increases anyway because you have to deal with the public on a daily basis.
Yeah. Some of them are rough too. Some of them are real rough. Oh. Yeah. You would think it would make people, I don't know, decent, but no. Not at all. Not at all. What I love too. I want to ask you guys real quick. Have you been selling more books since people are quarantined? Have you noticed any difference?
I actually I have noticed a difference, but it's because I think anyway, it's because I've been given the ebooks away. I have throughout April and a couple of weeks before, I've had a checkout code you can use on my site to download any of my ebooks for free.
Oh wow!
And a lot of people have taken advantage of that. So
that's good though. At least it's getting the work out there.
Up.
At least it's getting your stuff out there. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice,
absolutely.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm not an essential worker, and I'm not a health worker. So I'm like, there's not really much I can do to help people but stay home. So I can at least put my stuff out there for free if they need some entertainment.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a service. That is an awesome service to hear somebody do for that. Yeah, I've seen a lot of cool things like that goes. What was I gonna say? Shit. Oh no, what I thought was kind of shitty is like McDonald's, and even up here we got the Wawa, like for coffee and stuff. They got a thing all up. Yeah, all medical workers, all essential medical workers can get free coffee or a free meal. But what about all the slobs going in every day to retail? Like, it's kind of shitty. It's kind of fucking insulting. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, you are not necessarily, in a sick person's face all day, but you're risking your life just being out there with this thing,
Yeah. I loved it. I was going to say your narration of Edgar Allen Poe's The Masque of the Red Death. And it definitely tied into this pandemic, I feel. Is that why you did it?
That is why I did it. I've always loved that story, but at the beginning of this thing, there was this whole, I don't know, or I thought I was seeing anyway, this whole dichotomy, this separation between the wealthy who felt like they could lock themselves away and the working class who have to be out in it, and it reminded me of that story. So I thought, well, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can pull something together here, but I wanted to make it a little more than just reading the story. So I found a stock footage site and kind of created a short movie with the stock footage. Awesome. And Lloyd Kaufman liked it on Twitter. So
yeah, Lloyd Kaufman liked a couple of my tweets, and I think even retweeted a few. Yeah, he's awesome. I reached out to him to see if he'd come on, but he never got back to me with that. But yeah, that was so cool. And I feel like I don't know.
I hope he does.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. I feel like that would be one that Slambo really would enjoy. And he's back here tonight. I don't know if you've seen Slambo. He's returned. Isaac. He's lost a little weight. He's gained a little muscles. He's got bluer eyes and red lips.
Chest is a lot hairier.
A lot hairier, a lot showing the chest hair off. He's got a sweet mustache. Like
really just groomed very well. Yeah.
Yeah, so Slim's cat loved him too.
I have not seen him.
Okay, well you will. I'll tag you in a photo later. I'll tag you, and you'll definitely enjoy him. Do you have something you could read for us, Isaac?
I have a choice for you guys because I can't remember. I've been on here enough now that I can't remember if I ever read anything from Hoppers.
I think you did.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you did.
Did I? Okay. Well, I've got something different then that I know I haven't read. I wrote a very short story for an online magazine called Haunted MTL a while back. So I thought I'd read something from that. It's called Dead Rights.
Awesome.
Ooh, cool. Whenever you're ready, Isaac.
All right. I am ready when you guys are.
Good to go.
Will was alone in the dissection lab the night the bodies sat up. There were two of them, one male and one female. Both were naked, but only one, the man, had been cut into so far. The other anatomy students had named him Joe because his generic white dad bod, chestnut hair, and unremarkable face made him appear, to the fresh young anatomy students anyway, as average as they come. The female, on the other hand, they had named Kim, after the most famous Kardashian. Will assumed this was because of her almond eyes, elvish nose and chin, and voluptuous hips. Well, her hips would have been voluptuous in life. By the time the anatomy students at this university got their hands on the dead, the chemically preserved bodies were already deflated and dry, like an old shed snakeskin lying about in the hot sun of a late summer day. Kim, who was Will's project alone for the evening, so much resembled her namesake that the lad had been unable to stop himself from taking a series of photographs of her as she lay before him awaiting the first incisions. He briefly considered Instagramming the images, but figured that the ensuing kerfuffle would probably get his account suspended. Instead, he planned to share them with only his fellow anatomy students, those who had yet to come face to face with the reality television star's dead doppelganger and wouldn't believe him if he told them she exists. The corpses rose from the cadaver tables in unison, bending at the waist until they sat upright, their arms at their sides, their legs straight forward, and their tagged toes still pointed skyward. Will happened to be standing between their respective tables when the duo roused, and the shock of it sent him reeling backward into a shelf that was full of disinfectants and other tools of the trade. His phone, the camera of which had been aimed at Kim's head and torso, went flying out of his right hand and clattered against the door of a metal storage closet. Will's ass hit the floor, his lab coat splayed wide beneath it. One of the bottles of disinfectant tumbled from the edge of the shelf and smacked him squarely on the noggin. He yelped in surprise. "Did you hurt yourself?" Joe croaked, his voice raspy with disuse. In spite of his deflated flesh, he managed to screw up his lips into something that resembled a bemused grin. "Where are we?" Kim said. Her voice was higher pitched than Joe's, but no more melodic. "And what the hell were you doing just now?" Will swallowed thickly, tasting bile. This ain't history class, boy," Joe said. "Stop repeating yourself. Tell the lady what you were doing. Don't lie about it either. My eyes were open the whole time." Will blinked at him. You could see? How long have you been able to see?" "Never you mind that," Joe said. "Just tell her." "You look like Kim Kardashian," Will mumbled. He was looking at his hands more than at the suddenly animated female cadaver. "That's all. I was just taking a picture. Didn't think anybody would believe me." The corpse's eyes narrowed. "You were taking a picture of me?" she said. "You were taking a picture of me like this?" Will managed to look at her. "You're dead," he said. "At least I thought you were. I really didn't think you'd mind." Kim threw up her hands in disgust and looked at Joe, whose crusty yellow and lifeless eyes somehow managed to positively gleam back at her. "Didn't think I'd mind," he says. "Didn't think I'd mind. And why? Because I'm not among the living anymore? Because I no longer have a soul?" She glared back at Will. "Is that it? You're really something, you know that? You really are, all you living people. You sit there with your money and your jobs and your cars and your computers and your phones, and you think, well, I'm just top of the world and I can do whatever I want to anybody I want. Right? Is that it?" From his own cadaver table beside her, Joe whooped, "You go, girl!" Will eyeballed his hands again. "Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Breathing Guy," Kim went on. "I didn't spend my time alive smashing all the barriers that slobbering guys who refuse to think of me as anything but a hot fuck built around me so I could just be ogled and felt up by the likes of you after I died. Do you have any idea who I was when I was alive? Do you? Does it even matter to you that I was the only girl in the engineering department at this so-called school? Do you care that I was at the top of my class and was well on my way to getting my hands around a small fortune in research grants that would help me permanently fix this country's crumbling infrastructure?" "Preach it," Joe shouted. "Preach it. I don't want to go falling off a bridge." "And do you know what killed me? Do you know what took all that away from me? I can tell you that. It was a slobbering guy who roofied me. I overdosed. He was in almost all my classes. I had dinner with him because I thought he wanted to talk about my infrastructure research. He didn't. He wanted a hot fuck and didn't think he'd be able to get it unless I was unconscious." Will said. Joe managed to look stricken. "No, you didn't know any of that, did you?" Kim continued. You didn't know any of that because instead of doing your job down here with all these dead people who have donated their bodies to science, you wanted a little trophy to send to your buddies. Well, you know what, Mr. Breathing Guy? Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck your stupid little stuck-in-their-pants buddies. Now the dead are rising, you arrogant little shit. We're rising tonight, and we're not going to take any more of your abuse. Damn right, Joe echoed. You tell it. Kim turned on the table and hefted herself off its edge. She stood before Will, who remained splayed on the floor in all her post-mortem nakedness. She seemed a little unsteady on her gray formaldehyde-clad feet. Gravity made her dead, deflated skin appear draped over her frame. Joe, who hadn't budged since sitting up except for his 2 attempts at facial expressions and the occasional one-liner, leaned back on his elbows on the cadaver table and spoke as if he were commiserating with old friends. Well, they always say your past comes back to bite you in the ass, he said. Guess it doesn't get more past than a woman scorned a dearly departed, does it? Nope, it doesn't. But listen to me now, Bubba. My story ain't nothing like the ladies here. Nobody ever stopped me from doing what I was supposed to do to make it in life. As far as I know, the only fella who ever slipped anything into my drinks was me. I tell you, though, folks sure do want to stop you from doing what you want to do with your own death. Lord, do they ever. I don't even know how I ended up in this place. I never went to a university, and I sure as hell didn't donate myself to be no lab rat. I just went through my life doing everything I was told to do, just like they wanted it done. Figured being a good boy would end up getting me something somewhere down the line. Sometimes, Will interrupted meekly, there are mix-ups. It's rare, but I don't give a lab rat's tortured asshole about mix-ups, Joe replied. I ain't supposed to be here. I'm a veteran, you know. I was in the National Guard for damn near 10 years. Honorably discharged, too. Like I was saying, I always did as they told me to do, what I was supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be buried with a flag and military honors. I'm supposed to be respected and taken care of, you little asshole, not cut up like a slice of roast beef for your amusement. Look at my chest. Somebody's gone and sliced a big old notch in it. Kim spoke up. That's right, she said. Dead right. We're not pieces of meat. I donated my body to science, but that doesn't mean you're allowed to disrespect me, and you shouldn't be cutting him at all. Joe straightened and slid himself off his own cadaver table, managing a wobbly few steps to stand beside Kim. Now both preserved relics from a not-too-distant past stood glaring down at the autopsy student who had intended to spend his evening making up for lost time because he'd slept through that morning's class. Joe's skin was even more drape-like than Kim's. He stood with his knees together. The deflated flesh hanging off them caused him to look as if he'd grown an extra scrotum in an unfortunate place. So, Joe said. His attempt at a shit-eating grin still smeared across his features. It's kind of funny, ain't it? What you thought was dead and gone ain't ever really dead and gone. It's just waiting for the right time to come back and get you. Looks like now's the time, hey? What have you got to say about all this, lab rat? What have you got to say about the dead folks who ain't going to take all the live folks' shit anymore? What have you got to say about the past coming back to bite you in the ass? A beat, and it came to him. I'm sorry, Will said. The end.
That was awesome. That was really cool. I feel like maybe, was it Will? Maybe you should change his name to Tronny, Tronny Dump. And maybe the selfie, he could be like just grabbing a certain feature. But yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome, Isaac. That's really cool. Really cool.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
If you want to read the full thing, it's at hauntedmtl.com. If you just search for Dead Rights there, it should come up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. How long ago did you write that, Isaac?
It's been, I want to say it's probably been a year, maybe to a year and a half ago. I wrote it, and I rather than put it out there myself, it was a little too short for me to put out there as a 99-cent download even. So I submitted it to a few magazines, and Haunted MTL picked it up and put it out there for me. So
that's cool. That's fucking awesome. I wanted to ask too, with your Trump's Gone Wild check, have you gotten any new pop figures?
Nope.
Oh man,
no new pop figures. That That money went straight into savings for now, just in case.
That's smart. That's smart, especially if they want some taxes back on it. I got I got a limited edition number 297, which is a WonderCon exclusive Boba Fett, and it's done by like a graffiti artist. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Really cool, and it comes in like a hard plastic
Nice.
case too. It's not even just the regular box. It's got like a case around it. It's fucking awesome. I got it for $17.
That is awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
That
very
is
cool.
awesome.
And are you gonna trust when they say this thing is gone? Are you gonna still wear a mask, or if you are you gonna fully trust when it's gone?
I am wearing a mask. I actually have a mask that was made from fabric that has my Evil Bunny print on
it's
it.
awesome.
That's awesome.
So
That's so cool.
so yeah, I will probably continue to wear it for a while because I honestly, the more I hear, I don't know who to believe about what.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude,
there's
earlier-
a lot of mixed messages out there.
Just before the show, and yeah, where are the facts? It was just a tweet from Tronald, from the Fuhrer himself, that says, we only have more cases because our testing is so much better than all the other countries. Is it? Really, Canada and Europe, they don't have good testing? Like, what? Where are his facts? He's just talking out of his a-hole.
He's just like, we're doing everything right. The only reason why
Yeah.
more people are sick here is because
our
our
testing
testing's
is
better.
superior. We're Americans, USA.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's not. What did you back that up with, dude? Like,
No.
And everybody has said
Yeah,
that
and-
like we were not prepared for this. Like we were the worst prepared for a pandemic.
Yeah.
Compared to anybody else.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna win another term? I feel like I feel like not possible, but I feel like he will. I really do feel like he will. I think all these dummies are just like, yeah, he's doing God's work here.
Yeah, I don't want him to, but I won't be surprised if he does. Honestly,
Same.
he has he has his base support, and he has a lot of people that just will vote for him because of the party.
That, and yeah,
You know?
like you said, the base. I feel like that's the majority, just drooling his supporters. Like that's a majority of just people. Ugh, I don't know. What yeah, I really have no clue. God damn it! Have you used hand sanitizer?
I have a little bit of hand sanitizer that I take with me on supply runs.
Yeah.
Which I've taken to calling them supply runs.
Yeah,
Instead of
there.
grocery shopping, because that's what they feel
runs.
like.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never used it in my life. This is the first time ever that I fucking have used that shit. Like, and yeah, now I use it every
Yeah.
day, and I don't think I'll ever stop. I really
That's
don't.
what I was thinking the other day too. I was saying the same thing to some of my buddies. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep hand sanitizing.
Yeah.
And people are like, yeah, but that's not good.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's
might
not good
be,
to use
but-
like every 5 minutes, I think, but I feel like a few times a day is not gonna be a problem. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to take a bath in it.
Yeah.
Unless
Right.
you do, you know?
Well, it's the same with the mask. Even if we don't have to wear them, I feel like even in like flu season or something, it might be fine to fucking wear
Wear a
one.
mask,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
it's annoying though.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you've had to wear it, but like, god damn, your face sweats. Even if it's cool outside and you're wearing like a hoodie, like you got to take the hoodie off because your face is sweating so much. You're just breathing in your fumes. It sucks. It really sucks. Like I feel like the minute like spring or it gets a little warmer hits, we're gonna be breaking out and shit.
Especially
yeah,
the
I think so too.
the cheaper masks suck too, because I've worn some of the cheaper ones and I feel like the entire day I'm just like inhaling fibers from this fucking
Yes,
thing.
the
It's
fibers
awful.
after about
Awful.
4 hours is
Yeah.
like going up your nose and in your mouth. It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, it's worse for you guys because I wear them when I go to the grocery store.
Yeah, that's what I
but
mean. On a
that's
run, it's okay.
An hour.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, no, and we're wearing these goddamn things for like 8 hours.
For me, 11 hours. I do 11
you-
hour shifts, so.
Stop bragging.
Do you have to change them out? Do you wear the same one all day, or do you have to like change them out every so often?
I've worn the same fucking one. I'll wear it for like a day, and then I throw it out.
I switch mine after 4 hours, mainly because
Sometimes I do.
being in management, I have the access to the supply of them. So
Oh, you
I could just open up the door and
Stop
get an extra
bragging.
one.
Goddamn, look at this
when
guy.
I need it, so I don't have to hunt anyone down.
I
just,
got a key.
you know,
huh?
yeah.
You're part of the you're part of the wealthy elite, Slim.
Yeah, part of the wealthy
He's a
elite.
head muckety muck.
I have some
God
privileges.
damn. He's got stocks and all. Look at big boy Slim in the house, his house. God damn. Isaac, it's been a blast. I can't believe it. I can't believe
Wow,
it.
that was holy shit.
It's time to go. But thank you as always, man. It's always great.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on every time. I love listening to you guys every week. So
Yeah,
you guys
I
take care.
appreciate
Stay
that.
safe.
Thank you. And where can everybody find you?
You can find me at isaacthorne.com, and that's Thorne with an E. I am Isaac R. Thorne on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you, Isaac. We will talk soon.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Stay safe.